Today's episode is brought to you by the folks over at SeatGeek, the best and easiest to use ticket platform out there. They take the confusion out of buying tickets using a 0 to 10 scoring system and a green is good, red is bad color rating system so you and your loved ones get the best deal possible. So whether it's going to see our beloved Redlegs at Great American Ballpark, the Bengals over at Paycor, FC Cincinnati, one of the area college teams, or pretty much anything in between, use promo code Riverfront at checkout and receive $20 off your first order. Click the link in the show notes to download the app and get started. That's Riverfront, one word, for $20 off.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tim Daniel. His name is Sean Mackey. His name is Parker Fields. And his name is Nate Dotson. And welcome to episode 4 of NBA Friday here on Riverfront U, our passion project show where Nate says in our staff meetings every week, the show that feeds Tim's addiction to talk about the National Basketball Association, which I am very appreciative he allowed me to do. So, gentlemen, first time we've had 4 of us here. How we doing?
Good today. Doing pretty good, Tim.
Is it bad that I have my own show on this network and this is the most excited I've been to be on a show in months?
Nope.
Listen, man, the NBA is unique in that there is always something to talk about. I don't think that's ever been more true than the season that we are in the middle of right now. Every team has a storyline except for maybe the Wizards. Sorry, zombie bullets. It's never
zombie
been more
bullets.
Fun
yes,
to be
that's
an
the best
NBA
name.
fan. So I'm pumped.
I love it.
Talk some ball with you guys. Thank y'all for having me on. Let's go.
Perfect. So let you guys know what's coming up on today's show. We are going to get into the polls of the in-season tournament. We will pick our 3 winners of the polls on each conference and our 1 wild card to round out the final 4 teams. We will, on our flashback this week, go back to 2004 and talk about the day Shaquille O'Neal was traded to the Miami Heat in a trade that changed everything. Maybe at that time, the second biggest trade in NBA history. We'll break that down. And our starting 5, it was Parker's idea last week. We are going to do our all-time starting 5 GOATs draft, trying to put together the greatest starting 5s of all time. So Sean will probably take Robert Parrish in the first round.
Obviously, it's always the Chief.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we do get into that, let's touch real quick on the biggest news of this week, and that's obviously the James Harden trade. Once again, finding a way to get his way, which is fascinating to me. I have never hidden my feelings on James Harden. Sean and I have had many text messages of how much I just cannot stand him. Even before, even the Houston days when he was just dribbling the air out of the ball and scoring 60 points a night, still was not a fan. But I got to tell you, I think the Clippers, I understand they got the guy they wanted. They're also the only team that wanted him. So I think they screwed this up. I really do. Why give up 2 first-round picks when you're not competing with anybody else for him?
Yeah, I think they traded him they tried to get him too early. If they would have waited a little bit longer and let that saga unfold, they could have gotten him for pretty much nothing. And like Brian Windhorst said on, I think it was First Take, he said today that Harden, after he retires, needs to counsel NBA players on how to get their way because he gets his way every single time. And it's a talent. It's a talent at this point. Seriously. He gets the exact team he wants to go to too each time. It's crazy.
Most players
it doesn't
don't
work
get
like that for most players. No.
I mean Dame really with all he put in with Portland, if there was a guy who wanted to get traded someplace, it should have been him getting his wish as opposed to James Harden, who just I don't know what has happened over the last 4 years where he has just been nope, don't want to do it. Nope, don't want to do it. Nope, don't want to do it. And you want to go out to LA and you want to play with Russell Westbrook again, PG and Kawhi. Everybody's kind of on a downward spiral with their career right here with these guys, and they don't fit, and they all need the ball, and they have no draft picks. They have no flexibility going out. So
yeah, this has to work.
You are betting on James Harden to bring you an NBA championship this year, and he's not going to bring one there. I mean, look at the Nuggets. Look how good the Nuggets still are. They look as good as they did last year. They may be better. And all the other teams got better too. And it's like, just because you put a bunch of stars on a team in LA doesn't mean you're going to win shit. So
I think Sean brings up a good point, though. If Jokic gets hurt, then this move makes sense. But only if he gets hurt.
only
Jamal
he doesn't
Murray,
get
too,
hurt.
I'd say. I don't think the Nuggets win it without Jamal Murray either, though, I'd say.
Sure. A major piece of that team going down is going to affect everything.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I will
Healthy.
both agree and disagree with you. I think that it would take Jokic to get hurt before the Clippers would overtake the Nuggets. I think. If Jamal Murray gets hurt, the Suns.
I was about to say the Lakers,
Warriors, or Lakers. Yeah, for sure. But for the Clippers to take over that spot, I think Jokic has to go down. I get it from a standpoint where they have a new arena coming soon, so they're trying to sell tickets. If I'm playing devil's advocate, I can make an argument that their top guys miss so many games that maybe it's just load management insurance. But I don't understand how you justify creating a roster full of players who either do not play or history has proven are not winning players. I think that James Harden had one team in the entire league willing to go for him. Even the Wizards weren't going to make a play for him. And they have literally nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it was a horrible move from the Clippers. I think that the Sixers got something back, which is fine, but they should have never acquired him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
We could go down that rabbit hole all day long because
that's
I thought they did a good job getting rid of Ben Simmons for that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I am glad the saga is over. And I'm glad that James Harden now plays for a competitor of my favorite team, the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm curious to see now, like, what this does with Westbrook, because Westbrook's actually found a role there. Like, if you watched that game last night, he played awesome. Like,
he was great.
He played awesome last night.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he's just figured out that role to play defense, play his ass off 24/7, and he's going to get his shots here and there. He's going to facilitate. And now with Harden,
first time in his career.
Yeah, and Harden's going to have that ball a lot. And now I'm just thinking, like, is Harden going to be the number? Like, is Harden going to have the ball in his hands 24/7? Because the way he was talking in that press conference today is he doesn't want to be Sixers Harden again. He wants to go back to shooting 25 times a game, 30-point score Harden is how he was talking. And it's just like, you're going to do that, Clippers?
Well, something to note here. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, the last couple of seasons, have missed just a ton of games. So at some point, those guys are going to either end up getting rested or, I don't want to say they're going to get hurt again, but they just haven't been very healthy the last few years. So there is a chance that he is going to be able to shoot a bunch if those other guys are not on the floor. And I mean, he can play with Russell Westbrook, but I don't know, man. All four of them at the same time, it's not going to work.
2016. This is unbelievable.
I was about to say,
Tim,
I was about to say, if those two I'm not trying to say anybody's going to get hurt, but if they were out for an extended period, those two, because I mean, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
They're the 2020 Rockets. You got PJ Tucker running like the small ball five.
Dude.
Like,
yeah.
They're older.
Their whole lineup is in their mid-30s. Kawhi's the youngest. He's 32. He's like the youngest player that's going to play outside Terrence Mann and Bones Highland.
It's wild to me that the James Harden conversation has led us to a point where we're all very sympathetic of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Like, he used to be the player that annoyed me the most until James Harden not just took pole position, but ran with it. And now I'm over here feeling bad for Russ because, like Parker said, he just wants to kind of be in the background, play really, really hard. I don't think his skill set lends itself to a championship caliber team. Maybe it would be in this new role, but I don't know what you're doing. I cannot envision a scenario where this works.
I agree.
I wanted to add one thing real quick before we just basketball wise, Paul George looks awesome. I don't know if you've watched this early season.
Yeah,
he looks like the best player on this team.
He's the one guy on the Clippers I like. He's the one guy I enjoy to sit down and watch play basketball.
Yeah. He's the smoothest basketball player I've ever
Well,
seen. It's just like,
let's throw it out there real quick. What if this is the best case scenario for all parties involved? What if you have a healthy Paul George who completely healthy is what, a top 15 guy still? A healthy Kawhi is one of the best players in the game. We saw that in the playoffs last year for a few games. Saw it last night.
He played 41 minutes.
James Harden, if, like Sean was alluding to, was willing to be a willing distributor, could be incredible. But what's the likelihood of any of those things happening?
It's just
at the same time.
The Harden distributing, the problem with that is if they put Harden in that role, then what the hell are you doing with Westbrook? Because Westbrook can't be that's what's
on this
confusing
team,
me.
You cannot put Russell Westbrook on the bench because he has become the leader of that team.
You can't.
Whoa. How dare you disparage my man Zubats?
Buddy. Last night they were playing Zubac and PJ Tucker on Anthony Davis, and it was Anthony Davis feasted.
Yeah.
Feasted. But I heard some people say about, because that Lakers Clippers game last night was awesome. I rarely ever stay up for West Coast games. I couldn't turn it off. I had to watch it to the end.
Same here. I was up till 1 a.m. watching that game.
And I saw a couple of people who were like, well, if the Clippers have James Harden this game, they probably win. And I actually disagree in the sense, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, the points, but he dribbles the air out of the ball so much. Their offense is immediately slower when he's on there, when he's out there, because, we know what Westbrook is. It is, I'm going to beat you down the court. I'm going to get to the rim. And if I can't get to the rim, one of my guys in the corner is wide open, because someone's going to collapse on me and make sure I don't get the easy basket. With Harden, it's not like that at all. So like, to go with Parker saying, I think Westbrook has really become the leader of the team. He's the guy that's like, follow me. I'll do what I can. It's not always going to be great, but that's the guy you can count on the most, because he's going to play the most minutes for the team. There's no one's going to compete with him in minutes.
It's going to play the hardest too.
Yeah. And I feel like the Clippers fan base has really just loved him because the other two guys never play. And I feel like Ty Lue loves him too, because he plays his ass off every night. Yeah, he's going to make some dumbass plays, but he's going to make some great plays too. And like, he plays though. That's the big thing with that franchise. They just want people that are going to play.
Yeah. What also is super frustrating if you're a Clippers fan is that this team is at its best when Terrence Mann is getting real minutes.
Absolutely.
Because he plays both sides of the floor.
There's a reason the Sixers wanted him so bad.
If he's losing minutes to Russ or Harden, that means your defensive efficiency is plummeting.
Yeah, this defense is going to be rough because Kawhi and Paul George aren't the same. I mean, Paul George is still elite, but Kawhi's fallen off defensively a lot.
They're going to be looking.
Kawhi picks and chooses now. He's on that LeBron minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to have PJ Tucker try to guard Jokic, LeBron, Wembanyama, Kevin Durant.
Fair. Well, you know what? I hate to give the Clippers any credit, but having PJ Tucker included in this was actually a steal.
It was a great move for them. I agree.
Yeah. Nobody can shut down those guys you just mentioned, and he does as good of a job as anybody else just because he's so mean down there.
Yeah, I agree.
He can't do it. Like, he can't shut him down, but he'll go in there and bang. Yeah.
For a dude who's generously listed as 6'6", he can really play much bigger than that.
Well, that's how stupid this trade was. That we're sitting here like lauding PJ Tucker as the only good part of
he's typically a glue guy. So I've always,
I also love the Thunder sneakily getting in there, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Hit me with some draft picks.
So I think for the Sixers end, I do really like them getting those picks. This is a situation where you can go. I mentioned Donovan Mitchell as a possibility because I just don't see a circumstance where he stays long term in Cleveland. Sounds like the Bulls are just like waiting for February to get there to get rid of somebody. So Zach LaVine maybe makes a ton of sense with Joel Embiid. Maybe DeRozan a little more. That conversation will be had throughout the time. But someone's going to get pissed off, right? Someone's going to hate their team and someone's going to want to leave. And now if you're the Sixers and it's a guy you think you can put with Embiid, you've got 2 picks to make a move. So
now that Harden's off the table, like 50% of the people that request out every year are gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everybody keeps saying that the Sixers are ready to make another move. What move's there?
Right.
Who's the guy? And All the friends.
Something
OG Anunoby. Like, is he a needle mover for?
He's not a needle mover, but he's definitely
He's a
going to be one
great
of those
defender to put
names.
next to Embiid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great player, but if you are the reigning MVP whose only storyline is can he take the leap? Can he get his team to the finals? OG didn't do it.
I'll tell you what, he looks pretty great so far this year. Embiid looks like he's pissed off about what happened in the playoffs.
Well,
finally,
he was this.
Did you just have a ghost come shut the door in your house?
Yeah, that was my dad. But anyways,
Parker's house is haunted. By the way,
he was
viral.
He was before I got distracted. He was this though. If Maxey takes the leap, then I think this trade is going to work out good for the Sixers. Yep. But I think this all works like depending on Maxey. If he doesn't take that leap to be a legitimate 26, 27 points per game scorer, then I don't think this is going to work out. And I think Embiid eventually it's going to get bad with him and he's going to be out of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Sounds like the Knicks have been waiting for the day that he's available.
They're ready.
So I think Maxey needs to become a star in order for that.
Well, I'm glad you said that though, because so far he looks like
he's been a star.
Yeah.
He's been a star. I got him in our Riverfront Fantasy League, and he's been very, very kind to me. I literally only have a shot this week because LeBron scored 75 points last night.
Can we take just a second to acknowledge LeBron's stat line last night?
Oh my God! I could do it any moment of any day that you want me to. You can just text me.
I won't call myself a LeBron hater. I just get really mad at the people that say he's the best player of all time, and I'm starting to question my own beliefs.
There we go.
I told Tim yesterday. I said I still think that Michael Jordan's the best player of all time, but LeBron's had the best career.
Well, you're bearing the lead on our final segment tonight, Nate. So if you could just kind of bite your tongue for a couple.
Robert Horry is the greatest player of all.
There you
time.
go. There you go.
Bill Russell.
Yeah.
11 rings. Nothing beats that.
All right. Well, we're gonna be talking about the Clippers and this fiasco for a while now, every week. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the in-season tournament does start on Friday of this week. Obviously, I think the NBA is it's one of those things where when you first hear about it, you're like, that sounds dumb. But once you watch it, it's just basketball and I'm going to enjoy it. So this is how it's going to work. So every group is going to play each other in a round robin circumstance and then there's going to be a fourth team. That's a wild card. Each conference has 3 groups. And then there'll be a fourth team from, one group will have 2 teams because someone will get that wild card spot. So we're going to go ahead and read the groups off. And we'll go from there and say who we think is going to win. Since we do have 4 of us, it'd probably be a little easier if we just kind of real quickly throw out who and why. But let's go ahead and start with West Group A. We're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Phoenix Suns, the Utah Jazz, and the Portland Trailblazers. And this is fun because we have Lakers fans and Suns fans in this chat today. So Nate, you are our guest here, and you're also my boss watching me on job training. So we'll let you get started.
I think this is a pretty fun group. It was a lot more fun before I actually started watching these 4 teams play basketball. None of them have looked particularly great. I'm going to say that the Suns are going to win, not just because I am a homer, but because my problem with the in-season tournament is that there's very little incentive to win. And I think that is something the NBA has said out loud that they're willing to evolve as time goes on. But the one incentive they do have is money. And the Suns are the most top-heavy team in the league. So if you think that there's not an opportunity for a bonding moment for Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal to say, hey, young guys, league minimum guys, let's play our tails off, win this thing, and get y'all paid, then you're crazy. So I'm going to pick the Suns to come out of that group just because I think the studs are going to try to get the other guys paid.
I like it. Sean, what do you think?
Are we talking about West A? Is that what we're talking about right now? Yeah. Okay. I'm also going to go with the Suns. I've liked what I've seen this season, and I think they're going to be out. This is the first time they've all been together this year. And I think they're going to be able to come out and I think they're going to try to make some noise immediately just to kind of announce that they're there. I know some people, the West is so loaded right now, but they're one of those teams I think a lot of probably casuals are kind of forgetting about. and they shouldn't be because they're absolutely freaking loaded. And Booker and Durant and Beal is just going to be great this year. So I'm also going to go with Phoenix.
Well, that's it, right? We're hoping Bradley Beal eventually plays basketball this season.
Yeah, sounds like Booker's going to be back.
Booker's coming back tonight. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Parker, what do you think?
I'm gonna go with the Suns because I don't think the Lakers care. If that makes sense. Like I think LeBron's gonna sit out a game at some point during this. He's played all the games so far. Seems like Anthony Davis is actually committed to playing if he's not hurt this season, though. It actually does seem like he's playing unless he gets injured. So it seems like he's gonna be out there, but I don't know how much the Lakers care, truthfully. But definitely, I mean, it's going to be the Suns or the Lakers, whoever wins that game between them, honestly. So
I think the wild card definitely comes out of this group.
I think whoever wins that game.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I think they're both in very similar positions. They need to get real experience and meaningful minutes from their benches.
Yeah. I will go ahead also. I will take the Suns. All the reasons you guys mentioned. Also, are we at the point, Nate, you can answer this better than me as a Suns fan. Are we at the point that Drew Eubanks should start over Yusuf Nurkic?
We're not at that point yet, but we're going to get to that point real soon. And it's pretty tough as a Suns fan to even have to consider that question.
Yeah.
Because neither of those options make me happy in the slightest.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that everything you said, this is a good way for the Suns to build this camaraderie. I do think the Lakers will stumble into the wild card. I just think they're too good. Especially in the group they're in. Memphis is yet to win a game, and they still won't get Ja back for a while.
Didn't expect Memphis to be garbage.
Yeah, didn't either.
Really why are they so? Was Tyus Jones that important when Ja's not playing? I guess
so,
clearly,
man.
Because they've been excellent when he's been out the last 2 years. They've been awesome.
I think Steven Adams has been the biggest loss for them. Like he sets a tone for them that is super important.
Yeah. Has Derrick Rose been playing for them at all? I haven't been.
He's hurt again.
Yeah, he's been.
Okay.
He's been.
Well, he's played well when he's on the floor.
Back to normal.
This is a typical Derrick Rose conversation. When he's on the floor, he looks pretty good.
So he's like Grant Hill in Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah. He's got. It's not severe. He did set him out with knee soreness in the last game, but he hasn't been starting. Marcus Smart's been the starting point guard. And then Utah, I just think they're just not talented enough to hang with these other teams. And Portland, obviously, Scoot Henderson's already hurt. Terrific. Love it. Couldn't be happier.
He's been. I don't even know.
I
don't know if I buy that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if that seems like something like this guy needs some more reps. He needs more practice before we send his ass back on the floor because he looks horrible.
I'm glad you said that because I think Parker just nailed it.
I don't think he's because
I think
he's been awful, and I think they like when they do to like a rookie quarterback when they sit him and say he's like hurt or whatever, so he doesn't get absolutely destroyed on an awful team. This is what they're doing right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, Shaden Sharp's look good. I've liked what I've seen out of
he's looked awesome.
Aiden's looked really good there too.
Yes,
and then they're going to get something nice for Brogdon. I mean, he's played really well.
You think Aiton's going to be on the move too, or Aiton's going to be there?
Should be.
Yeah,
I think Aiton and Scoot is their game plan for their future. Those two and Sharp.
That is
Aiton,
dumb.
He does not really fit the timeline. In all honesty, how old's Aiton? 25.
They should send Aiton to Washington.
25. I'm not saying he's old, but
for Kuzma.
No.
Hey,
Aiton, Kuzma, and Jordan Poole would have the best time. They would play all the Call of Duty and win no games. It would be a blast.
Nobody's talking about it. Poole has looked awful. Kuzma has looked awesome to start the year.
Kuzma was awesome last year. Kuzma needs to play for a contender. Bring him back to the Lakers,
because he's actually like a winning player. I think Kuzma can play on a winning team.
I agree completely.
Well, I just think a long ass episode tonight, isn't it, guys?
Well, we're gonna talk nothing about Kyle Kuzma for the next hour and a half.
Well, and Jordan Poole not being good is just like, I mean, the confidence has just been stripped, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All right. Well, let's go ahead real quick before we go off the hinges here. Group B is, I think we're all going to have the same pick here as well. The Nuggets, the Pelicans, the Clippers, the Mavericks, and the Rockets. I'll go ahead and start here. I think it's the Nuggets. If they care, I'm sure they could not care and still run through this group. They're just the best team in the league.
I couldn't agree more. They don't care about the regular season, and they're still dominant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
Couldn't
are-
agree. Here, go ahead.
Yeah, there's as far as like team cohesion, I don't remember seeing a team like this. Maybe the 72 win Warriors, maybe
73 win.
73 win.
How did it end though?
I love watching this team play
It didn't
basketball.
mean anything without the ring.
If you are a fan of the sport of basketball, like outside of just storylines and highlights, this Nuggets team is so much fun to watch.
They are. Yeah, they absolutely are. So,
I couldn't agree more, but I'm not gonna take them. I want to be different. We can't have the same picks every
Right,
time
yeah.
here.
Oh.
I'm going with
Who
the
you
Mavericks.
taking?
The Mavericks have looked awesome. Luka
They have
looks
looked
like
really
the best
good.
player in the world right
Yeah.
now. I'm just gonna predict that Luka is gonna go absolutely insane tomorrow, and they're gonna beat the Nuggets.
I
I
love it.
like it.
I love
Because
it.
like
I'm-
this is a one game. Like Luka can play good one game and get a W. Like
oh yeah, he can.
Yeah.
this is
yeah,
like basically
yeah.
like predicting the NCAA tournament. We're saying all this. All these teams aren't going to win it. Like all these
Right.
favorites aren't going to be the winners. It's going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
random teams too. So I'm taking Luka and the Mavs.
I'm gonna remain safe and stick with the Nuggets. They're just too good right now. So
Ooh,
I
think
do
this
love
is-
the zag though. It was a good zag.
I do too. I think this one we might potentially have different answers. West Group
Okay.
C. We've got the Warriors.
Ooh.
We've got the Kings. We got Minnesota. We got Oklahoma City, and we got San Antonio.
Best
Is
group for
De'Aaron
sure.
Fox back though?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big factor here.
Sean, why don't you start this one off? Who you got winning Group C in the West?
well, right now, if I was a betting man, and I'm not, and you know that, I'm gonna go
Mhm.
with the Warriors. They've looked well. They're 4-1 right now. De'Aaron Fox. If De'Aaron Fox is not hurt and is fine, I'm picking them. But I'm gonna go with the Warriors right now.
Nate, what you got?
So I love what Sean just did, and I want to throw out there for a future draft player of the decade, because obviously LeBron is the best player of our generation. But I think there's a very fun conversation that if you break it down by decade, Steph Curry has some. He's got some.
Oh, yeah.
turf.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Thunder on this one.
Okay.
Because
Me
sort
too.
of like the Lakers argument, I think that the Warriors don't care much, but they're going for loftier goals. I think the Thunder are going to take this seriously. They're so young and they're so good. Hashtag Team Chet.
Yeah, dude.
Yes. Yes.
Wemby is like, get off my corner. I'm the guy. Yeah, I'm going with the Thunder.
I'm also going to Thunder.
Okay.
I'm going with the Kings.
I love it. We all had something
Me
unique
too.
here.
Pretty sure Fox is going to be healthy by the time, because I don't think they play till next week. So I think Fox will be good to go. They're going to be hungry like the Thunder are for this. They're going to want to prove themselves. They're going to care a lot more than the Warriors are. And I think I'm not crazy to say this, honestly. Like, I think game on the line, De'Aaron Fox is one of the 10 best players I'd have in the NBA
without a
right
doubt.
now.
Yeah.
He's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, I've been high on Fox, and I think he's genuinely one of the best players in the league right now, and he's playing at a crazy
He
level.
is.
I did too.
Yeah, we talked
So
about
I
the
like
wild
them.
card coming out of Group A. I think I've changed my opinion. Wild card's coming out of Group C.
Okay.
I can see the Warriors or Kings winning that, and I picked the Thunder. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can see Anthony Edwards going nuts,
Yeah, I know.
and the Timberwolves making some noise. Like,
Especially with Mike Conley at the helm. A guy
Listen,
who
I
wants to
just
put
ta-
something on his notoriety.
I just talked myself into this in-season tournament. Like, I didn't care at all. Now I'm super pumped. Let's
Now
put
he's
some money on
hyped.
it.
Um,
Hey, FanDuel, sponsor the Riverfront. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. We've been trying. We've sent emails. Speaking of the Kings, we do have a really fun article on riverfrontcincy.com about Colby Jones getting his first buckets in the league last night. Super excited for Colby. Congrats, my man. It's good to see you succeeding in the league, man. All right, so wild card. I took the Lakers.
Sean, who you got?
Wild card. Well, it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks.
I like it. P.
I'm going to go with the Lakers.
You know what? This is all wild. Parker convinced me. I'm going with the Mavericks. I think, I think Luka's going to do some work. Love it.
they're surprisingly 4-0, and I feel like nobody's talked about it. Honestly, they've been
Nobody
lost.
wants because nobody
We're
wants
waiting
to
for
talk about Kyrie. We're the
Yeah.
Harden saga.
He hasn't
already
played
got
though.
us-
It's just been Luka though. He's only
I
played
I
one
had to
game.
watch him last night,
so
and
good.
I had to watch him play the Bulls last night because I had to write for On Tap, and
Let me,
I was like, I didn't even care.
let me paint a
didn't even
picture
care.
for you real quick. What if your team, your favorite team that had never won a championship in their entire history, had a chance to draft a Luka Doncic type, formidable player? Instead, they drafted DeAndre Ayton, and then you spend yourself talking yourself into that mess, and then you just trade him for Yusuf Nurkic.
I will say
Yeah,
this. I will say
Life's
this.
tough.
I did not necessarily have an issue with them taking DeAndre Ayton because covering college basketball, I saw everything
yeah.
he did at Arizona, and he was unbelievable. But I understand. What if you have a Luka Doncic, you draft a Luka Doncic. But let's go to the East. All right, East Group A. This is a fun group. We've got the 76ers. We've got the Hawks. We've got the Cavaliers. We've got the Pacers, and we got the Pistons. Parker, you could start this group since you haven't started one yet.
What were the teams? Sorry.
You're good. It was the
I was seeing what was going on in Thursday Night Football real quick.
the 76ers, the Hawks, the Cavs, the Pacers, and the Pistons.
Give me the 76ers because the Cavaliers aren't healthy. The
Okay.
Cavaliers just are not healthy at all right now. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on with their whole roster is out damn near. I was watching them versus the Knicks. I'm like, who? Amani Bates is the sixth man playing crunch time.
He was
in the
getting
fourth quarter?
buckets.
He was, and he wasn't playing too much like out of control and stuff. He was, but
I'm an Amani Bates fan. I can't lie.
I am too. I like Amani Bates, but I'm not trusting an Amani Bates led second unit
Right.
to
I agree.
the in season tournament. So I'm definitely going to go with Joel Embiid and the Sixers. I think they are going to be an awesome regular season team this year. I think they're
too.
going to win 55 games this year, but I don't think they're doing anything in the real playoffs this year. But that's another.
I hate to say it because I blew so much smoke up the Pacers' ass this offseason, but I'm going to take the Sixers as well. Halliburton has been in and out of the lineup. Apparently, at one point, was with diarrhea. So hopefully
Ugh.
that's all taken care of. But I don't love the Hawks. I've been very honest about that for a very long time, as much as DeJounte Murray has played really well. I laughed very hard when Trae Young missed that alley-oop to Onyeka Okongwu from the loose of the Knicks. It made my day. The Sixers are the best team here, right? And Embiid wants to put something on his legacy because he probably will never win an NBA championship. So give him a shot at the in-season title.
Is that going to be on Basketball Reference pages?
Yes,
Yeah,
It is?
Yeah, they'll have
It's
to
going
make
to say
a whole new.
in-season champion.
I don't know. It's gonna look funny.
Yeah, like what?
The
Is
Hawks,
there-
the Hawks will hang a banner for Tim predicting them to win a game once because the Hawks are garbage.
Nate, this is the first time I've ever covered NBA with me. Sean's been doing it for a decade. He can tell you my exact feelings on Trae Young and will not shy away from anything I have to say.
I would like to
Yeah.
see Trae Young and James Harden have a celebrity death match for who is my least favorite NBA player.
Just
How hard can you try to be bad at winning basketball games?
I'm be honest, mine's D'Angelo Russell. I can't stand that guy.
He plays on
I-
your team.
I
Can't
don't have
stand
a
him.
I don't have a problem with that pick either.
Like
That's a
I know
solid pick.
he's been awesome the last 3 games, but he just when I see him just like call off LeBron and shoot a step back or something, he just irks me.
Raindrops.
Like Westbrook irked me less than D'Angelo Russell on the Lakers. Seriously, he
Which is
irked me
tough.
less.
All right. So we got Sean and Nate left in this group.
Sean, who you got
Alright.
coming out of East Group A?
well, I'm gonna do it just because we hate them. I'm gonna take the Hawks
You
just
dirty
because-
dog.
just because I think that Trae Young is he's gonna do Trae Young stuff and he's gonna end up annoyingly winning some games, and I think they're gonna come out on top, and we're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, and because like you said, they would hang a banner for anything, and
They're gonna
I
hang
just-
that banner.
I can feel it. Like this is just it's such a Hawks move. It's such a Hawks move to win.
to be the
So-
in-season champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Or
like the
no,
in-season champs is almost like It's like, oh,
It's like who was it? There was I think it was Notre Dame. They have a banner in Purcell Pavilion for winning Maui.
yeah, that's what this is like. Thinking
Yeah.
about it, it's like, no, that's right. That's a
Listen.
good comparison. It's like college basketball, like
The
tournaments to
MTE, the
start
exempt
season.
tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
The only way Trae Young contributes to a winning Hawks team is by getting injured. That is a crazy take. I
He did lead him
appreciate
to a
it.
conference finals. He did.
Ben Simmons gave them that
flukiest
finals.
conference final.
He still won a series though by himself.
And I'll be honest, Parker, like I was like everybody else. I watched it. Trae Young played unselfish, good basketball for that entire playoffs.
He did.
And then he decided, shit, I did it once. Don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
My Hall of Fame resume has been submitted. Trae Young is garbage. The Hawks are garbage. And I'm a huge DeAndre Hunter fan. Obviously, go Who's. It's going to be the Pacers here, right? I mean, the Sixers are the easy pick, but like they're figuring stuff out. I think they're going to end up better than all these teams in the East. But I think the Pacers are the steady
I
hands.
love this Pacers team.
I lost
Tyrese
faith in them
Halliburton.
after last night. I lost faith. I just watched them literally look like a 7th grade basketball team playing the Celtics last night. So I've lost a little bit of faith after.
I'm
last
glad
night.
you didn't watch the 7th grade team play the Sexes because that's illegal. But
the Celtics.
I think that there were a lot of trades over the last 3 years that involved Tyrese Halliburton that did not get made. And I think every single team that didn't make it is devastated right now.
Agreed.
The guy is Chris Paul light without the attitude.
Yeah.
He is a perfect distributor, perfect table setter. And they're a couple pieces away from being a real contender. But I think that is a 45-win team as long as Tyrese Halliburton stays there. And I think that's probably the kind of team that's eventually going to win the in-season tournament.
Yeah. I mean, this is the team I said was my favorite over of the year because they won 34 games last year and Tyrese Halliburton missed 20 games. So their over under this year was 38.
I hated seeing him and Sabonis broke up.
Yeah.
I thought they perfectly complemented each other.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. Group B. The Bucks, the Knicks, the Heat, the Wizards, and the Hornets.
Wizards.
This would be a Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma, just go crazy.
No, there's a shot like like Poole and Kuzma are in season champs. I kind of want them to win it. That'd be hilarious. Because I'm not a fan of this, and if they win it, they need to get rid of it after this season because they're gonna be like, all right, this was stupid
so high.
as hell.
Yeah. You know, Jordan Poole's got a full chest tattoo. 2023 in-season champion.
Kuzma's gonna have it in his hair.
Yeah, next to the lips thing he's got now.
Yeah, he's got lipstick in his hair now. Like, yeah.
All right, you guys ready for this? I'll start this section off. I'm excited.
Go for it.
Give me the Knicks.
I'm in. Oh,
I'm excited. Okay. Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett's been pretty damn good this year when he's been on the floor. I like this roster, and I think the Bucks are so easy to pick. But this goes back to Dame and Giannis don't give a crap about this. They don't care. They care about winning in June, and they're gonna have a good shot at it. So I think the Knicks are that next team in that group. The Heat have not looked good at all this year. So I'm taking the Knicks.
all right. Who's up next? Sean, you got this.
All right. Well, I'm also going to take the Knicks. I think they've looked great this year. Heat. They got to fix some stuff, man. I was just thinking about them this morning. They I kind of want to pick them just because they're like one of those teams that's just tenacious, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna turn it on for this. But I'm also gonna take the Knicks. They look decent, and they're also well coached, and this seems like something the Knicks would go for. You got to look at that too. It's like you said about Dame and Giannis really not wanting this, and they could very well win the whole thing. They could.
Yeah.
They could. I wouldn't put it past them, but it's also like I think we're so early in the season. It's like a lot of these smart teams, they're just not gonna, expend any juice. But the Knicks, this is definitely going to be something that they would be proud to win.
I like that take. Obviously the Bucks are the best team in this group,
Mm-hmm.
but they have some stuff to figure out. let's be honest, the Dame Giannis experiment has not looked great so far. It's looked fine. They are not running. They're running less pick and rolls than
That's shocking.
Dame ran last year.
Yeah, that's so surprising.
So they are going to take some time to figure that out, and taking time does not lend itself well to winning the prestigious in-season tournament. So I'm not going to pick the Bucks.
We got to have you on here more often. This is fun.
I can talk.
I hope that goes on the banner. The prestigious in-season tournament champions. That's how it should be. It should be in quotes.
Seriously.
So just to run through this, because we're 40 minutes in already. I think the Heat are going to be garbage all season long. I think the Wizards are definitely garbage. I think the Hornets are going to surprise people. They're going to be like that plucky 35 win team that you're mad that your favorite team lost to. But I think it's the Knicks, because the Knicks have not looked great, but they have the pieces. And I think that RJ Barrett taking a little baby step up. I need Julius Randle to take a step back. I need him to just leave me alone. Julius Randle kind of sucks. Let Brunson and Barrett take this team over, and I think the Knicks win the in-season tournament, at least in this group.
The only thing that scares me with the Knicks is like when you watch the Knicks, they just are so like they can really go on scoring droughts. Like if you watch them, they just sometimes their offense is so bad. It's just a Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson fadeaway from 15 feet that clanks off the side of the rim. And like, I don't know. I'm not going to take them to win it. I'm going to take the Bucks. Like if they care any bit and just try, they'll win this thing. So I'm going to take the Bucks.
You know who wants this?
The Knicks have a Julius Randle problem.
Yeah. But you know who wants this? Who really wants this in season tournament? Tibbs. You know Tibbs is like,
Yeah.
He's going to be like, RJ, ice. Come on. God damn it, RJ. Don't take that shot again.
How much money would you pay to watch Tom Thibodeau and Kyle Kuzma have a battle royale half court? Who cares more, me or you?
That's who needs to be a Knick. Kuzma on the Knicks playing with him. Kuzma and Poole.
Oh, God. I'll never forget there was that stretch. We'll get to the next group here in a second. But there was a time when he was the coach in Minnesota. This was when Butler was still there. Funny out there playing the Sixers on TNT. They're up 30 with like 4 minutes to go. And you just see Tibbs like red face, livid on the sidelines, like because someone missed a defensive assignment. It's like, it's like so Tibbs.
Did you guys see the off the backboard alley-oop down 21 last night?
They made fun of it. It was the Wizards.
Wizards.
Poole threw it off the backboard to Kuzma down 21 late in the third.
Jordan Poole has given us 3 memes, and we are 4 games into this season.
I will say this real quick.
Incredible pace.
Fire Wes Unseld Jr. quick. Like nobody talks about this because like those guys are funny. That coaching is awful.
Are you kidding me?
Awful.
We have almost a meme per game.
Head coach.
Our MP game rate right now is phenomenal.
Our MPG rate is almost 100%. Give him a promotion. Keep him around. Just send him to every year. He gets to go to the worst team in the league.
I like it.
He's a horrible coach.
Right,
I noticed that.
It's very
so, Group C, we've got the Celtics, the Magic, the Bulls, the Raptors, and the Nets. The Celtics are obviously the team here. But fuck it. This thing doesn't matter. No one cares. Let's have some fun. I'm taking the Magic. Let's go.
I'm not mad about it.
That's who I'm taking too, Tim.
I love the Magic. I
do too.
love them.
They're my favorite team right now. I'm actually watching the game right now.
They're so fun. And like that Laker game
So
other night, they were totally outmatched and still somehow hung in that game for way too long and lost by a point.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Are they the opposite of the Clippers?
Yes.
They are just a bunch of young dudes that love playing basketball together.
Yeah. And every year they get a new throwback jersey. They've got the greatest arena song of all time.
If they're going to win it, though, Paolo's got to figure it out, though, if they're going to win it. He's averaging like 11 points a game right now. He's got to figure something out.
I'm not worried about Paolo. I do feel like we need to throw it out there that that's an ugly man. Do you think it affects his ceiling to be so bad looking? I'm serious. Every once in a while, it's like pops up on my screen. I'm like, oh, God, that's an ugly guy. And I want better for him, but I also feel like the
So
problem with
you're
Orlando is
saying he's so ugly it holds back on the talent front.
I think it holds him back, and I think it holds his teammates back. Because imagine you passing a guy. They said the number one rule when you're passing to someone is eye contact. Don't pass unless you have eye contact. You make eye contact with Paolo. That's disconcerting. That's not a beautiful man.
Well, you know what? You got Franz Wagner on that team. He's not a bad looking guy. I think the Magic are just a lot of fun right now. I like this team. They have too many point guards though.
I think outside of the Thunder, they're my favorite non-favorite team. Like obviously the Suns are my squad, but I am more invested in what happens with this Orlando team because if it works, how much fun is that? And if it doesn't work and they decide to blow it up, once you give a legitimate rotation piece to 7 different teams.
Yeah.
Because there's so many good players.
All right. So Sean and I got the Magic. What are you guys thinking?
I mean, I'm still going Celtics for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going the Celtics.
They got something to prove. Like they haven't won anything, so they have to try.
That's true.
And they look scary right now. No team,
And
they're beating
they're
teams
mad.
by 50.
Yeah.
They're mad.
And in the
Celtics
East,
as my wild card.
the playoff position is going to matter.
Yeah.
They can't afford to mail games in.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Celtics would be my wild card team. What about you guys?
Yikes.
Wild card team.
I'm going to go with the Hawks. I like the
You
Hawks. I don't think they're
son
that
of a
bad.
bitch.
I think DeJounte Murray's
Okay.
looked awesome this year.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm never coming back on this show. There's too much Hawks love. I mean, I think I picked the Knicks to win that group, so I'm gonna go with the Bucks. That's my wild card.
Okay.
Either way, I win. I'll flip that.
This one's tough. I think I'm going to go with the Pacers as my wild card. I think it's safe. It's a safe bet.
I like
I think the big takeaway from this conversation is that we just spent 25 minutes litigating the in-season tournament, and all of us thought this was a bad idea, and we were wrong. We obviously care a whole lot.
Clearly. Matt Ryan has 20 points right now.
There you go.
That is shocking.
How does the ex-quarterback of the Falcons?
All right. Give me just.
Okay,
All right.
so our go.
Sean, rock and roll, baby.
So our next segment, we're talking about flashbacks. This is our flashback segment for this week. We picked the famous trade of 2004 when Shaquille O'Neal was moved on to the Miami Heat after, really trying to take the reins from Kobe and them kind of going back and forth. This was a huge trade, gentlemen. I don't know how much. Parker, do you remember this at all? I mean, you were a young cat back then, right?
I would have been 2.
You were 2 when this happened? My God.
I mean, that's
Okay,
20
so-
years ago almost. No.
This is one of those trades that just completely and absolutely rocked the NBA. Shaq was kind of on a little bit of a career slide after them losing to the Detroit Pistons the year before. And before that, he was just dominating. He wanted a large contract that year, and he wanted a contract extension with them. He went to them. He said, I want this many years. I want this. I wanted to be paid the max. And they were absolutely not okay with that because, it was very clear at that time that the Lakers were kind of moving on to Kobe Bryant being the face of the team, and Shaq was getting up there a little bit. So they ended up moving him for a large trade, which this is one of those total crazy blockbusters at the time. So the full trade, Shaquille O'Neal was traded for Lamar Odom, Caron Butler, and Brian Grant. Now, Lamar Odom had a great career with the Lakers, but the Heat ended up getting an immediate title out of this. He goes down there, pairs up with young buck Dwayne Wade, and they end up winning the title the next year. And everything that Shaq said, because he guarantees he's going to win a title when he gets moved down to Miami. And man, he let Kobe know it immediately. He was showing up on really poor quality videos at the time, doing bad raps about Kobe Bryant and how he won and saying inappropriate things. It was a big deal at the time, but also it gave a final piece to like the Shaq legacy. He ended up getting that other chip with another team and ended up getting up to 4 championships. And I don't know if you guys were into this team at all, but I loved this Miami Heat team that ended up getting assembled with Gary Payton and Antoine Walker and Shaq and Dwayne Wade. It was just such a fun team. And I don't know if you also got, if you remember, but right before the playoffs ended up happening that year, Pat Riley basically forces himself back into coaching the team and takes over the reins because he wants to win one more championship, which he ends up doing. It was just kind of a wild turn of events, and it's something that just totally changed the face of the league for a couple of years. I mean, the Heat were kind of a one and done because as soon as they won the title the following year on ring night, they ended up losing by 40 points to the Chicago Bulls. Like, it was very quick. You know, it was a very quick time, but I don't know. Nate, what do you remember about that?
So that was a weird time for me because as we've litigated, I'm a Suns fan, and I was trying to deal with this weird hangover of good teams that couldn't get over the hump. Right? I mean, as someone who cared the most about basketball during the Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire era, you kept waiting. What needs to happen? What break needs to happen? We had that weird series, and I guess that was like 2004, 2005, when the benches cleared and
Yeah,
guys got ejected. It's the best time for the best chance the Suns ever had. When Shaq got traded to the Suns, which is like a random blip in the NBA history radar as a Suns fan. And if you've ever been a fan of a team that has won a world championship, you don't understand this feeling. The feeling of we just got a guy who might get us there. Because back in 2004, 2005, 2006, Shaq was invincible. He was invincible long before that, but he had that like 3-year run towards the end of his impactful career where you held out hope. If he was a part of your squad, you felt good about it. And when he called himself the Big Cactus,
yeah,
we should have known at that moment that it was bullshit. He was no longer the piece that we wanted him to be.
I really liked that Suns team with Shaq on there. Steve Kerr, I think he was the general manager of that team at the time. And he put that together, and he famously said, he goes, if this doesn't work, I'm the biggest idiot of all time. And I wouldn't say
he was right about some things, but not that one. Turns out he's real good about building a team.
But I will say one thing, and I know we're kind of getting off the topic here, but one thing about the mid 2000s Phoenix Suns, they had an impeccable training staff there because they were able to keep Grant Hill looking good for years. They were able to keep Shaq looking good. Like that was the last that was the last year when he was with them that he looked good. And
it was
he
a
looked
weird
revived.
thing that the Suns used to hang their hat on was we can rehabilitate you. We can't grow you as a player. We can't help you have a longer career when you're an older player. But if you're in that I am broken 27 to 32 range, we can help you crush for about 4 years. It was weird because they had Robert Sarver as the owner, who is a disaster and thankfully is no longer part of the league. So when I think of the history of this Shaq trade, there have been so many. Every single Shaq trade has had such an impact on the entire league. It's a testament to who he was, not just as an NBA player, but as a cultural entity. I think there's an argument to be made that outside of Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal is the most important NBA player of all time.
Well, and it's one of those things that I know, Parker, you weren't alive yet, but when Shaq showed up in the NBA, it was I'm sorry. When he showed up in the NBA, he was already a superstar. He had such a big personality, and at one point, I would say like 94, 95, I would say, well, 95, I would say definitely, but I would say that Shaq and Penny Hardaway at one point were just as popular as Michael Jordan was. Like, it was a blip moment, but Shaq was just such a big personality. And
I wouldn't even call it a blip. It was a year.
Yeah, it was a year. It was a year. And
little Penny was everything.
Well, and everywhere you went, no matter where you were at, it was Chicago Bulls jerseys, champion jerseys, and Orlando Magic jerseys. Everywhere you went, everyone was wearing those. Occasionally, you'd see a Chuck Barkley floating out there as well.
Don't make us start a Larry Johnson pod.
Oh,
because Grandmama Parker,
that
do
was
you know about Grandmama?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know about all. I'm very much a basketball historian before my time. Like, I know everything, but I try not to give my opinion on stuff I wasn't alive for, because I just kind of feel like it's like, you know what I mean?
Trust me, I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan. I know what it is like to not be alive for success as a Reds.
No, yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I know Grandmama.
Yeah,
so that Shaq Penny Grandmama era was, for me, the height of basketball commercials, which could be a fun draft that we do later. Best basketball commercials. But the way the game changed when Shaq went from, what was the order? Like, he went from Orlando to LA to Miami to Phoenix and
Cleveland.
To Cleveland.
Yeah.
He never played for a bad team.
And then to Boston to end it. I forgot he was on the Cavs. Forgot about that.
Boston.
Yeah, he quote unquote said, he's like, I'm here. He goes, immediately he already had like a bit already like ready. He's like, I'm here to win a ring for the king. He did not. And the thing that's so funny is the Cavs could have traded for Amari Stoudemire that year, and they refused to give up J.J. Hickson.
J.J. Hickson, I forgot about him.
That's what held it up. They could have had Amari, Shaq. That Mo Williams was on the team, and then
Mo Williams
was an all-star at that time.
He was a dog, man. He was a dog. I love Mo. But yeah, just what a weird team. What a weird team that was. But yeah, Shaq ended up going, and let's not talk, another thing to talk about is how this affected the Lakers after this. This became Kobe's team.
Do you think that was the weirdest point in Lakers history? For sure. Like, NBA history is a very odd couple of years, right? Whose team is it?
No, I think the years after Magic retired, the first two, I think those were some of the weirdest years. Or the years where a couple of years back when we were anticipating that LA was going to somehow sign LeBron James, and they were making all these weird moves. They drafted Lonzo Ball, and there was a couple of weird the Luke Walton years where he was coaching over there.
Oh, the Luke Walton years. I'm not gonna lie to you. I blacked out the Luke Walton years. I don't think I've ever been more wrong on a take. Luke Walton.
What did you say? He was going to be a great coach or something?
Great coach. Players are going to respond to him. He has so many curls in his hair.
Well,
he was in the same draft class as LeBron, and then he was LeBron's coach, and LeBron just did not respect him at all.
Well, and Luke had a really good run with
The
was he
Warriors. He
yeah, was it the Warriors
Kerr's
previous?
assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kerr went out for back surgery and he ended up
Yeah, that is what happened. He was the coach for
Luke Walton
30 games or
parlayed
something?
30 games of Steph Curry into a
Head coaching job.
half season
Hey,
head
man.
coaching career.
it got him over to the Kings as well, so he had a couple years where he was making some moves, but
Can
yeah, the Lakers
do a
Lakers
brief
had a couple weird.
segue into how Steph Curry is still fucking killing it.
Oh my God, he's still so good.
Do you think
He's
his
still so
game translates to aging better than any player of all time? Because would it surprise you if 5 years
I
from now
mean-
Steph Curry is still shooting 45% from three and
Yeah, I mean,
92% from the line?
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna lose the actual range or the I mean, I think he's gonna retire a really good shooter still. I think he's gonna continue to shoot well. I mean, he's
I'm
he's
glad
got
you
such
went
a
out on the ledge right there, Sean, to announce to the world that you think that Steph Curry is going to retire as a good shooter.
Yeah, I think he's gonna retire. Well, I don't think he's gonna have some like crazy spiral down. Like, I don't think there's gonna be a season where we see him playing and he's like, "Yeah, I'm averaging 6 points a game and 2 rebounds or something like that." Like, he's gonna retire probably averaging final season will be like 18 points or something. Like, he's just
That's
not
actually
gonna.
a really good point because we got here tonight to do a best player of all time draft, and I think that for sure one of us is going to draft one of those two guys,
Mhm.
and they're both still playing. They're both still dominant when they statistically should be on the downside of their career. But I would be hard pressed to say that either LeBron or Steph Curry are not top 20, right? I think they're both top 20.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like if you put LeBron outside of the top 5, that's just I can't.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Curry-
LeBron.
The only reason I push back is that he has missed a lot of time over the last couple of years.
I mean, yeah, but
He's old, though.
Curry's missed more games than LeBron by a lot the last 5 years. Curry misses games all the time. Nobody talks about it though.
Is that true over the
Yeah.
last 2 years?
You look at how many
Yeah,
games
yeah.
Steph Curry's played. Yeah, no, they did the last 5
I'm
years.
not
Curry's played less
arguing.
games than Anthony Davis.
No
And everybody
oh,
is always
shit.
on Anthony Davis's ass for playing. But yeah, Curry hasn't played more than 68 games since 2016.
Yeah,
And nobody talks
Yeah.
about that.
68 games. 68 games is a lot of games.
Okay. 5, 63, 64, 56 over his
Shit.
last 5 years.
Yeah.
Steph,
5
yeah.
1 year.
step it up.
I know
Well-
nobody talks about the fact that he does miss a lot of time.
But-
Nobody
but
talks
You know what the disconnect is that when Steph made his announcement onto the scene,
he played
was
every
broken.
night then.
Well, no, he was broken. We all expected Steph to be broken. He
Yeah.
has bad ankles. That's why he got that Godfather deal from the Warriors. They're like, we'll give you $0 because you were so injured. But he was literally never injured again. He's been healthy ever since his rookie contract, whereas LeBron has just been a pillar of health.
Besides that 2020 season, he missed the whole year. What was it? His wrist? Was it his wrist, Sean? When he broke,
I
he
believe
missed
so.
the whole
That was-
season.
That was the tough one. But let's be honest, Steph Curry, who had bad ankles, that was his rap, right? Like he was supposed to be a broken dude, and he becomes one of the top 15 players in the history of basketball.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So, do you guys want to go ahead and rock this draft without Tim?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I feel like he's going to be very mad at me for doing that. Whenever Tim pops up, I think we give him 3 picks in a row.
All right.
All right,
Actually,
we'll do it.
Let's take a beat and let's talk about strategy. So when I look at this, the reason I got excited about joining you guys tonight, I wanted to pick what was, in my opinion, the best starting 5. not the 5 best players, and I don't want to get too crazy. So what do you guys want out of this draft?
We talked about this briefly last week before we stayed where it's going to be, and we said we're going to draft an actual lineup too, not just the 5 best possible players. The lineup's got to fit. We're trying to build the best team.
It can't be 5 point guards.
Yeah, you're trying to build a team to win.
But do I need a center or do I need a forward?
I would say you need a center because I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I think it's and I've said this before a million times, but I think it's absolute bullcrap that the All-Star game does not recognize the center position anymore. I hate that.
Agreed. And the All-NBA.
There's a lot of them.
Too.
There's a lot of good centers out there. Again, there were a few years
I would
where
argue
the lines
the
were blurred.
opposite point. I want
Why
less
would you do
centers, more big men. I would say give me a point guard.
Nah.
3
They're
swings. Give me
there's
bigs.
But the power forward position is pretty much just not a thing anymore. So it's pretty much just centers and then wings. Because Anthony Davis was the last good power forward, and he's a center now. So it's just everybody's a center.
Well, reluctantly,
Anthony Davis ruined it for all of us.
He wants to play power forward, but they don't let him.
He wants to play power forward, but everyone's like, dude, you're so much better in this role. And he's like, yeah, but I don't really want to do all this.
Yeah. Who's got the first pick then?
So why don't we get? It's gonna be Nate. Give it to Nate because he's the guest today.
When Tim randomly generated this earlier, I was told that I had the first pick. And I will say that I was, and I'm texting with Tim right now. He's a nothing but a family man, and he is trying to join us quickly. But he did tell me that I had the first pick, and I was also happy about that. I would have been happy with the second pick because I knew you young bucks would have picked LeBron with your first pick, which would have been absurd.
Well, how young do you think I am, Nate?
Who would you have picked for your first?
I'm gonna pick Michael.
Okay, then you're not that.
I'm gonna
young.
pick. Okay, I might be older than you, man.
As the first pick of this draft, I'm taking Michael Jordan. There's no question who the greatest player of all time is Michael Jordan. You can make an argument to me that LeBron James has the best career of all time. But when it comes down to a singular player, Michael Jordan is the greatest NBA player of all time. And I'll hear no other arguments. So as the first pick in round 1, I choose Michael fucking Jordan. Emphasis on fucking.
All right, Tim's here for his second pick.
Here we go.
I am feeding while drafting because I couldn't miss this.
Also, we'd all like to say hello to Iris.
Of course. Say hi. Say hi. All right, so you took MJ first?
Iris just literally said out loud, don't pick LeBron.
Well, she knows better. She knows who her dad is.
Exactly.
So I'll take my small forward. I'll take LeBron Ramon James, the all-time leading scorer, the all-time leading minutes per game pretty soon, all-time leading in postseason points per game, all-time leading in finals points. Give me LeBron.
Beautiful pick, Tim.
Yeah.
Can't argue. Cannot argue.
Sean's got the third pick because I drafted first last week.
Correct.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with someone who I don't think gets enough freaking credit at all. And I know Tim knows that I'm going to pick this, but I'm going with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This is a guy who once held the most points record up until very recently. I still believe he's the greatest center of all time. I think Shaq is the most fun center. I mean, if we were going with fun and dominant, I'd take that. But Kareem, man, smooth, fundamental. He's going to get you there. He's going to get you wins. So I'm taking Kareem.
All right. So I got 2 picks here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For my first pick, I'm going to go with Magic Johnson. In my opinion, the greatest point guard of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Stephen Curry has an argument yet. I think that is very much recency bias. And then for my second pick, I'm going to go with Larry Bird. The basketball IQ on this team is going to be off the charts.
Damn.
We're going to be dissecting the defense. We're going to be smarter than everybody. And I think Magic and Bird would be a scary combo. So I'm going to take Larry Bird as my small forward,
Yikes.
Magic Johnson as my point guard.
I love
Parker, beautiful. Can I join your team?
that. All right.
Is that
So-
we're going back to me?
Yeah, it's Snake, bro.
Yeah, you're
It's
back.
the snake, bro. Man. Well, I mean, when you take Larry and you take Magic from me, it's like it's kind of hard to go someplace from there because then it starts to kind of be a drop off a little bit.
There's tears.
This might be a little controversial.
Of course.
But
Sean.
it's well, I don't think it's that controversial, but I want a shooting guard and I want the second most dominant shooting guard of all time. I'm taking Kobe.
That's not controversial. That's
really?
Hey, you know what? I don't know. Nate might come out here and be like, "It's Dr. J. You guys are dumb." I don't know what he's gonna pick.
Listen, I don't mind that pick. I just didn't see it happening when it did.
I like it.
Go.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and sure up my forwards. I'm going to take the greatest power forward of all time, the big fundamental, Tim Duncan.
I appreciate Tim Duncan going when he did. He could have gone earlier. And I want to do an entire series of podcasts about when Tim Duncan needs to go.
Buddy,
That's-
I will
Okay.
do that with you every day of the week.
So here's my question to you, gentlemen. When I say Bill Russell, is he a center or a power forward?
He's a center.
Yeah. He played
Okay.
center.
Because I'm getting wraparound picks.
Mhm.
I got to tell you, this is tough. So I've got Michael Jordan as my shooting guard. I've got Bill Russell as my center, and I like winners. I like fucking winners. So who's going to be my point guard?
Steph Curry?
Steph is my starting point guard because he will drain buckets or dish because he doesn't care. He doesn't care about winning. He cares about championships and how good Tim's camera looks because pretty solid.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. All right. So, guess I'll take my first of two guards. So, Curry and Magic are off the board. I better grab a point guard for it has that big drop off. Give me the big O. Give me Oscar Robertson.
Oh.
Oscar Robinson.
Oh, I like it. You are a man of sophistication.
Yeah.
Old school.
I dig it. I dig it.
Oh man. All right. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think the place where I'm picking is the absolute worst.
Yes, it is.
Because
Yes, it is.
because you like I'm not gonna win this draft. There's no way. You guys took the two best players off, and then the young guy.
You got
here,
Kareem and Kobe. You're
goes-
doing really well.
Okay.
You Kareem and Kobe.
It's not a sexy team though.
I
and you
agree.
guys-
I agree
you
with
guys
Sean.
know it.
I
Listen,
agree
buddy,
with
I don't
Sean.
think a
Sean,
sexy
I got
team,
your back here. I don't think you have the best
Okay.
positioning here.
I don't think a
I
sexy
think
team
you
wins
do.
the game.
God. Can't get the first two best players. Can't get the 80s guys. Because if I'm Parker, I'm also picking Larry Bird and I'm also picking Magic Johnson.
Yes.
So this is terrible. I just want you all to know it. But
Yeah,
anyways,
but I know because
if
I
you
know what you're
want-
saying. Because at 3, it's too high to take Bird or Magic, but at 4
I
and
know
5,
you
it's-
can't do it.
If you
yeah.
want, you can get later years Michael Jordan. You get Wizard Jordan.
You can.
He's a separate entity. He's not
I will-
even. He's
I will
not just
trade.
Michael
I will
Jordan.
trade you a draft pick for Wizard Jordan.
All right.
Well,
Well,
you
I
can
already
also
took my-
draft 96 Magic too.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
our segment last week.
Yeah. All right. Am I up? Am I
Yeah.
up right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
All right. I'm gonna well, I don't think this is a bad pick. And it's kind of recency bias, but I'm taking Kevin Durant.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's
Where
what I
are
was
you?
gonna take. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
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 That's a good
As
pick.
small forward or power forward?
He's small forward.
Random forward, just like some
Yeah.
forward.
Nobody's drafted Shaq. have
That's
they?
the most high value
Nope.
pick, by
Nope.
the way.
All
I
right,
think
I
Sean
got
has
Shaq.
the best pick of the draft.
I got
Alright.
Shaq. So
Okay.
adding Shaq with Larry Bird and Magic. So now this team needs some damn jump shooting. So Ooh, who am I taking? The greatest players of all time. Not a lot of them are that great of 3-point shooters. To be honest with you, not
Right.
a lot of them are like
No,
really
no.
that. So we're just building a team here.
Best start
Yeah,
5 that you can draft.
You know what? I'm gonna go old school here. I need a little bit of shooting. I think his game will translate better to the modern NBA. I'm taking because I need a shooting guard here. I'm taking Jerry West.
Oh,
Are
Jerry
you
West.
fucking kidding
Okay.
me?
I love it.
Jerry
Okay.
West.
That's
Yeah,
a dope pick.
I
Because
mean, you'll
Dwayne
get
Wade does not fit this team. So I was like, next up, Jerry West.
I also appreciate you recognizing that Dwayne Wade is an injured asshole who
so question.
I
are
played
you
golf
pick-
with once.
Are you picking Jerry West the player or Jerry West the GM? Because one is better.
The player.
Can
You
I?
lost.
Can
That's
I?
the
Or-
answer.
Can
Or
I
one
later
time Jerry
draft
West.
Jerry West to be my GM?
Yeah, he can.
You could. All
Fun
right.
fact: I played golf with Dwayne Wade about 2 years ago.
Oh,
How
really?
was that?
Well, he was horrible at golf. He got better.
Okay.
We got shot up now.
All right. Well, since I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the greatest center of all time, possibly the greatest player of all time, guys, possibly.
Not
know,
possibly.
He's
Impossible.
up. I got Kobe Bryant. I got Kevin Durant at the 3, and I'm gonna do another recency bias just because I think he's gonna dominate in both areas. I'm taking Giannis as my power forward.
Giannis.
Of course you were, you young gun.
All right.
I'm not
well,
gonna lie. I have been taking poor notes, and the Giannis choice is beautiful. It's just a good pick.
I know it's good business.
It says you're doing good business.
well, I need a setter because you guys are running through them. Russell's been taken. Shaq's been shaken. Kareem's been taken.
There it is.
Give me
I know
Hakeem
it.
Olajuwon.
Okay. I like it. I thought you were gonna get old with that, and you were just gonna be like Wilt, and I was gonna be like 1 championship.
I don't know,
He
man.
had 2. 1 or 2.
He has 2.
He had 2. Okay.
The Dream Shake's so sexy. I can't
Oh.
leave it on the field.
So dominant. We don't talk about him enough.
Agreed. So Nate's got the
All right.
wraparound.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I have Jokic?
If you want.
Yeah.
I do want.
Yeah. I like that we're taking some younger guys. We're in a really good era right now.
Listen, I think we are literally recording right now, so I know this is the thing. Also, Tim, Iris, what a cutie. That's literally
my
the cutest baby in the history of cuteness. Iris, step it up. This is your moment.
Nate, your pick.
Listen, I don't care about this pick. I care about your beautiful child.
Thank you.
All right, so I am going to pick. I'm picking Jokic. You guys haven't picked Jokic yet.
Correct.
A
Go for it.
multiple MVP who is literally the best player in the entire National Basketball Association. She's
Yes.
so cute. She's so cute. I can't handle it. I pick Iris. My choice is Iris. I pick Nikola Jokic, and I also pick Irish. I'm fucked up worse than polio. This is good.
Oh.
Gentlemen, this is delicious. I love you.
So what is your team all together now, Nate?
I
What do you
picked
have?
Jokic. I got.
we heard.
We got it. Did you pick him twice? Because we're not allowed to do that.
Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, and Nikola Jokic.
No,
there's someone else in there.
you've drafted 5.
Bill
Yeah.
Russell.
Bill
Yeah,
Russell.
Bill Russell is my center.
Yeah. And who was the other one? There was one other one.
Power forward, Jokic. Shooting guard, Michael Jordan. Point guard, Steph Curry.
We're missing a guy here, though.
Yeah.
Oh
we're-
no,
we're-
I think he's up. He has his 5th pick here.
yeah,
now.
this is
Oh.
pick here.
This is it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nate?
I have a small forward left open.
Correct.
I have to pick again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying the doctor's there.
Kawhi. I'll say Kawhi.
Oh,
Boo.
Kawhi. Slim pickings.
All right.
Buddy,
and-
there were 1,000 players I'd rather have, but I got real nervous because
The pressure was
He's like,
on.
the time was running out.
He said, "Shit, I guess Kawhi."
Fuck.
All right. I need a shooting guard to round out my team. Who should we take?
So, Iris, what's up?
She's like, go ahead.
She says that we should take one Dwayne Wade to round out our team.
Dwayne Wade. That's much better than Pete Maravich. So cool.
Yeah.
That's not much better than Pete Maravich.
We're talking about basketball, not golf.
Yeah. I don't think Pete.
Maravich.
I don't think Pete won a title, did he? He didn't win a title.
I'm a Pete Maravich guy.
I think he may have won one at LSU.
Bobby
Maybe at
Knight.
LSU.
Yeah.
I had a hard time yesterday. People were going hard in the paint on Bobby Knight. I was like, "Fuck you, you fat pieces of shit." Bobby Knight's no angel, but who the fuck are you?
Well, Sean, you've got the next pick.
All right. So I'm going to round out my team. So just to wrap it up, I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, greatest center of all time. Okay. I went with Giannis Antetokounmpo as my power forward. Pretty sexy pick, guys. I got Kevin Durant as my 3, 2-time NBA champion, also a 1,000,000-time trade asset. And then I have Kobe. So I got to have a point guard. I'm actually going to go with another 2-time MVP. You know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going, don't you, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm going with Steve Nash.
I like it.
Greatest,
I like it.
third greatest son of all time.
So Parker gets to round us out.
All right, so I need a power forward. I got Magic at the
Iris.
point. I got who I got the shooting guard. I got Jerry West shooting guard, Magic at the point, Bird at the 3, and Shaq at center.
Oh,
I'm-
what a team.
Parker,
I'm
your
going with-
team is dope as fuck. Your
I'm going
team
with
is
Dirk at the
fucking
4.
dope.
I need more shooting. I'm going with the
Oh.
greatest stretch big
Dirk.
arguably ever. Give me Dirk at the 4.
I love it.
Did,
All right.
did,
I love it.
did
Perfect.
Parker just pop up at the last minute and say Dirk?
Yep.
Dirk
He
is
did.
his guy.
Yeah.
Parker
Dirk
wins.
at the
Parker has
4.
the best team.
Parker has the best team. It was that wraparound pick at the beginning where he got Magic and Bird. I mean,
Luckily,
Man.
Sean, you get the first pick next week. So
all right.
I feel like the
also-
first pick is
Good.
almost not good though. The first, because in a snake, like I don't really want the first pick.
It was dangerous because
You get the
everybody
best
says-
player, but then you don't get a
it's
pick.
like I was the
until,
only
8.
guy that was pro Jordan.
so none of us
oh.
would have taken him.
Sean, what
No,
if,
no, no, no,
I
no. I would
wanna
have
pick
100% taken. I would have taken MJ.
I was about to say
Everyone knows
Sean
that.
would have taken
Here's a
him.
good
too.
question for the content.
Tim tried to
Is-
avoid it. He did that little iris thing so he could get
I
out
want-
the pick.
We are about.
I'm
we're
on
about,
to him.
we're about to call this out immediately. Who is the best basketball player of all time?
Oh, let's not do this, guys.
let's not do this, Nate. I
Let's
love
not
you very
do
much.
this.
Make an answer. We will go hard in the paint next week. What you got?
Sean, what is our draft topic for next week?
Draft topic of next week: best throwback jerseys pre-2010.
Yes.
Oh, that's a fire. one.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
like
I think
that.
we're gonna
that's
have.
good.
I think we're gonna have to share some photos too while we're
Mhm.
doing this
Yeah,
next week.
we'll
just
I'm
have
so people
to-
can know.
confused. I'm confused. I feel like my team is so good, but also Tim's daughter is so beautiful.
Well,
Iris is
We're-
the cutest.
we're gonna go ahead and wrap up NBA Friday. Nate, thanks for hanging out with us. We definitely appreciate it, buddy. Make sure you check out Nate every week on the Riverfront Reds show. You can also check me out on that feed at Late Night Reds on Sundays. Also, shout out everybody with all the support of Riverfront U. We greatly appreciate it. Give us all this next likes, subscriptions, and everything there. Take it easy, everyone. We'll see you soon.